Good morning, everyone. This is Miss David, your school social worker at McCall Elementary Middle School, checking in today with another social and emotional lesson. On last Friday, we talked about impulsivity and the importance of stopping and thinking before we act. So today, we're going to talk about something similar, peer pressure. And we're going to do that through looking at the case of the candy bar. So I'm going to read a very brief scenario to you guys, and I want you to try to envision what's going on in the scenario, okay? Case of the candy bar. "Now," whispered Jonathan, "quick, while the clerk's not looking." Heart pounding, Tammy leaned against the counter at the store and slid 3 candy bars into her pocket. She looked bored and acted calm as she followed her friends, Jonathan and Caitlin, out of the store. But inside, she could feel her heart pounding like a drum. She was panicking. "I can't believe you made me do that," Tammy yelled. "Relax," said Jonathan. "Everybody does it sometimes, and we didn't make you do it." She said nothing, but Tammy knew she would not have done that on her own. She just had a big dose of peer pressure. Okay, guys, so have you ever been in a situation like the one that Tammy was in, where you're with your friends and they're encouraging you to do something and inside you feel like there's not something quite right about it, right? So let's talk about these situations. So first, let's figure out who our peers are, right? Our peers they're not necessarily our family, but they can be considered a member of our extended family. These are people that are around our same age. Sometimes they're close to our age. They might be a little older than us. They have similar interests that we have, so we like the same things. We might even dislike the same things, and we might have shared experiences. Like we might be on the same softball team, or we might all like going to the comic book store after school, or we might all like going to get pizza after school together. And we spend more time with our peers than we do with our parents and our siblings because we're really close to them and we feel connected to them. And to us, they are a member of our extended family. So we can see how Tammy, in the scenario, how she felt like it was easy for her to do whatever Jonathan and Caitlin were asking her to do, right? So what is peer pressure? Peer pressure is whenever we are being influenced to do something that we're not quite comfortable with. And that can be anything from shoplifting, trying drugs or drinking, or even taking a dangerous risk that we're not quite ready for, like hugging or holding hands. And our peers and our friends, they do this unintentionally, so they don't do it on purpose. And unfortunately, it can cause us to be stressed out, right? So they can pressure us openly, by saying, "Oh, come on, it's just one piece of candy and everybody's doing it or everybody's trying it." Or they can do it indirectly. And that just means, not using words. That means using their body language, like looking at you with sort of like a sneaky eye or smiling at you kind of funny or nudging you with their elbow. So there are 2 types of peer pressure. We have negative peer pressure and we have positive peer pressure. Negative peer pressure is anything that is dangerous and that goes against the rules at school, home, or in your community. It's taking items, it can be bullying someone, and it can be fighting. Positive peer pressure is any influence that we have in our life to do what is right, to do the right thing. It can be someone encouraging us to study, to volunteer or help others, to be a part of a team. It could be setting a new goal or that we have for ourselves, like if we want to try a new food, or if we want to try a new sport, if we want to get a summer job, or if we want to take on a new hobby. So how do we know if it's peer pressure? Well, first we should take caution, right? And stop and think and listen to our gut. If it's anything that we're not quite comfortable with, even if our friends seem to be okay with what's going on, then we know that that situation is not right for us, right? And this is the type of decision that helps mold and shape us into the type of person that we want to be when we get older, right? We should also think ahead. So if we're going to the store and we want to save our money, we need to be ready to tell our friends that we can't buy them anything on this trip. And we should rehearse that with ourselves before we are with our friends so we know what to say and what we'll do. We should always have a way out. We should think about what we're going to say to our friends without losing face with them. So for instance, if they're saying, hey, I want you to come to the park with me after school, to play basketball, you can say to them, well, I'm sorry I can't go today. I promised my mom that I would help out with chores around the house. Or you can say, I'm sorry I can't do it today. I have homework, right? And lastly, we should feel comfortable saying no. And no is a complete sentence, and it does not require any type of explanation at all. And our good friends, they should realize that, and they would always accept that from us whenever we're telling them that we're unable to do something, right? So let's practice. I'm going to read to you guys some scenarios, and I want you to tell me if it is a negative peer pressure or a positive peer pressure, okay? So let's get into it. Your friend calls you at home and asks you if you've studied for tomorrow's test. When you say that you don't want to study, your friend invites you over to their house and says that you two can study together. Is this negative peer pressure or positive peer pressure? I think because our friend is calling us and encouraging us to study, even though we don't feel like it, that this is positive peer pressure. So let's put an X over here, okay? You are at the mall with your friends and they ask you to take something from one of the stores without paying for it. Is this a negative peer pressure or a positive peer pressure? Well, normally when something is a negative peer pressure, it's because you are not following a rule that has been set, right? And is it against the rule to take something that does not belong to us? You're right, you got it. This is a negative peer pressure. Someone you follow on Facebook posts about how you can exercise to become healthier and lose weight. You start to second guess how you look and feel stressed. So this one can be kind of tricky. So someone you follow on Facebook posts about how you can exercise to become healthier and lose weight. That's actually something positive. We all need encouragement to eat healthier and do what's best so we can live safe and healthy lives, right? So that's positive. It says that you start to second guess how you feel and look and become stressed. So this is the part of the scenario that's a little tricky. People can give us positive advice, but it's also how we look at that advice that we're getting, right? If we see it as a positive, then it's a positive. But if we see it as something negative, then it becomes something that's stressful and it turns into a negative peer pressure, right? So I think that this is a positive peer pressure. However, like I said, what could make it negative is just the way that we look at it. But our friend is actually giving us a positive peer pressure here. They're giving us encouragement. So, a friend you follow on Instagram posts about getting canned goods together to help feed the hungry, and you think about helping out to support their idea. So this is, I think, a positive peer pressure because we have a friend who is encouraging us to do the right thing, right? They're encouraging us to get out and to help someone in need. So I think that is an awesome idea, okay? So just as you guys go throughout your week, I want you to think about the negative peer pressures that you come into contact with and any positive peer pressures that you come into contact with. Okay? So as always, guys, 3, 4, 5, I love you, I care about you, and I'm here for you. Here is my contact information. Miss David, this is my email. You can reach me there anytime. Also in Google Chat. I'm there every day, Monday through Friday, between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. You have to search in Google Chat, McCall Elementary Middle School Social Worker. And I'll be there every day, Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 o'clock, to talk about any worries or concerns that you guys may have, okay? And also remember, the Stop It app is still in use, and we are still able to talk to you through that app if you need anything from us, okay? I want you guys to take care, be safe and well. All right, bye-bye.